I am a couple minutes early. I'm just going to load up here. We'll get started in a couple of minutes. If you are joining me, I hope you pop on and say hello. Hopefully you can craft along with me this morning. We are going to make 4 of our Hunkydory cards. We'll see how well we do time-wise, but we are going to get started. Just a reminder that this is available to watch, rewatch, whichever you like. Once the video is over, we do not delete them. So if you just want to sit back and watch and then go ahead and create with us later, of course you can. Good morning, everybody. Welcome. Hope your day is starting good. Now, I did post some homework. This is if you want to make your cards exactly like mine. Now, we're not foiling. All we're doing is using foil. Okay, so this is foil paper. This is what I use in pretty much all my classes. I'm a little addicted to that. I think foil just pops it. So what I mentioned is you're going to need 2 of the 6x6 card bases. This kit did not come with card bases, so you do need to provide those. And 1 of the A2 card bases. Now, of course, you can have your card bases any color you want. These cards are very soft, very pastel. You can have purple card bases. You could have pink card bases. You could have blue card bases. It doesn't matter. These are your cards, so totally up to you. Optional. Now, these you didn't need to have, but they were optional, was the inverted corner punch. I will be using this on this card. Again, that is totally optional. Some vellum. I did have a piece of vellum on one. An A2 is a normal size card base, which when folded, an A2 is a 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. That is a normal card size, and I say normal very, very loosely, but that's what's considered an A2, which, if you look at this piece of paper, that is exactly what it is. That is your A2. It is half of an 8 1/2 by 11, and then folded, and that is your A2 size card. Okay, so then I had some gold foil paper that I listed that I used. There's 2, 4, 5 pieces, but of course, you don't have to do that. You can just not have gold foil, and that is totally fine. Okay, so I just want to put that out there. You can make these cards however you want. This is not a class per se. It is just a craft along. So there is no rules. There is no rules. We're going to get started in just a minute. I'm just going to show you what we're going to be using today before we get started here. And that is the beautiful hydrangea paper pad. So hydrangea paper pad, there was, you had an entire package, and Courtney and I are splitting the package. So I'm going to use half this morning. I'll tell you which ones to find in your package. And then Courtney's going to use the other half later this afternoon. Now, I do hope if you've never used Hunkydory before, I do hope that you enjoy these. I love using the Hunkydory, and we do teach classes where you will make a full set of cards with everything included with Hunkydory pretty much monthly. Our next class is next month, and that is on May 20th. I know Clipper Street is already sold out. That is using Wildlife Blossoms. We are completely sold out. Courtney does have a few left. So if you are interested, then you absolutely can get a kit from Courtney, but she is down to her last few. So if you've never done Hunkydory, I do hope that this is a good introduction for you. Now, the problem with Hunkydory is they never come with instructions. So that's a good thing and a bad thing. Good thing is you get to use your creativity. Bad thing is if you struggle with coming up with card designs, you may not know quite what to do. So that's why we chose to do this one today. Okay, so we are going to get started. Again, just a reminder that this will be up for watching later. So if you find that you can't keep up, I was a little ambitious in that I am going to try and do 4 cards in an hour. So that may be a little ambitious. So I'm going to go probably at a good clip today. But again, if you want to just sit back, have a cup of coffee, relax, you can go back to this anytime you want. That is very, very important to know. There is no time limit on this, so please don't feel that you have to rush. Now, in this kit, we also gave you a little baggie. It's a good thing I have mine here. A little baggie of hearts. Now, we did a custom mix here of the pink and the lilac. And we're going to use those on these cards. These make great for shaker, but we're going to use them as embellishments. I quite like them. They are flat backed, so that makes them wonderful for what we're going to do. Okay, we're going to start with this card, and that means we are going to start with our 6x6 card. 6x6 card, and I'm also going to pull out the largest gold foil that I had you cut. That foil was the 5 7/8 by 5 7/8. We're going to use that one, and then we're going to use this gold foil. Let me grab my ruler here, and this one is let's see, it's about 2 1/8 by 5 3/4. So it's going to be your longest one that I had you cut. I had you cut a couple of short ones. It's going to be the longest one. Okay, so those are the two. Now, with a square card, you can have the fold at the top or at the side. I am going to have the fold at the top. Personally, I find it just works a little bit better for me. It stands up a little. I always like to further crease them with a scoring tool. That just ensures that I get a nice score that helps my card stand up. If ever you feel like your card isn't standing up well, it might be because you haven't used a proper scoring tool. Okay, I am going to use my inverted corner punch. Now, if you don't have one, don't do it. That's okay. And I am going to make sure I've cleaned it. Yep. I'm going to punch all 4 of my card corners, and this takes a bite out of them. This punch is from Hunkydory. The product we're using is from Hunkydory. They have a lot of this inverted punch corner, so that is why we're using that. I'm going to do that one more time. I always make sure I clean them out, especially when I'm doing card bases, because I'm doing double thickness. You always want to make sure it's right in that corner. Now, because I'm going to be doing my corners, I need to repeat with the gold. Now, before I do it, I want to just double check if my gold fits. I'm going to take a little bit more off. You want to do this before you punch your corners. Just make sure it fits on the card. That looks good. Before punching corners. Okay, and then we're just going to punch. Did that again. I'm not getting it quite in the corner. I'm being a little sloppy today. That's not good. Okay, right in each corner. Perfect. Now, if I hold it up, that is perfect. So now we're just going to glue that on. I'm going to use this glue today because I'm getting low on my other glue. I'm hoping that we get our quick dry soon. The company, the North American distributor, has been out of it for a while, and we're getting all a little panicky as we're getting down to our bottles, right? So I grabbed this one this morning, which will work just fine. Okay. And we'll place that on, and then we're going to find the paper that we need. Perfect. And if yours don't have punches, that is totally okay. It's not going to be the end of the world. Now this is the paper that we're going to use. It'll be in your package. It has the beautiful hydrangea on the bottom. And this is the paper we're going to use for our first card. Okay, it's got kind of a cursive writing on the top. So our first cut on this one, let me see if I can find myself a Sharpie. I had it a minute ago. Good morning, everyone. We're going to cut this to 5 3/4. That is going to be our first cut, 5 3/4. So I'm going to slide this over. I've got my flowers on the bottom. So I'm taking the left edge to 5 3/4. Now I'm going to save this because I am going to use it for my next card. So we're just going to put that back in our pile. And this is the piece that I have. It measures 5 3/4 across. Because this is a square card, we're going to cut it again at 5 3/4. Now I'm going to save this piece because I'm going to use it in a moment. I'm just going to, I know that mine is a little bit shy there. So now I have a square, 5 3/4 by 5 3/4. And you're going to want to decide which way you want your card to open. You want to make sure it fits with all the gold around. And when it does, we one more time are going to punch our corners. And that will be it for the corner punching today. Take all of these. And I just get in the habit of trying to remember to always clean out my punch so that it's ready next time. I don't want to jam it and break it. All right, and that looks perfect. We can go ahead and glue that together. Not used to using this glue on such big space. All right. Then I'm just going to set this off to the side for a few moments. Perfect. And I'm going to go back to this piece of paper. Now this piece we are going to trim slightly, just slightly. We're going to trim this down to 2 inches wide. So to do that, I'm going to put it into my trimmer tall, and right now it measures 2.5. I'm going to trim it down to 2 inches wide. Now you can keep this if you wish. You don't have to. You can get rid of it. Whatever works for you. And we're going to go to that piece of gold I had you pre-cut. And again, if you didn't want to add the gold, then you don't have to do this step. Now we're going to glue it together, and that should give you gold showing on the top and the bottom only. No gold on the ends. They should be the same length. That length is at 5 3/4. So we're going to go ahead and glue that together. Okay. Now this was just the piece that we cut off the top of our paper for our card. All right. Need a little sip of coffee. Now what we're going to do is get out our foam tape, and we're going to foam tape this to our card. I'm going to say right about here. This looks like a good distance above. You want to make sure that the writing is going the same way as your base card. So you don't want your writing to be upside down. Have a look at it. You'll be able to kind of tell. Don't expect you to be able to read it, but you'll be able to see it. And we're going to foam tape that on. Now, if you want to do flat, that's totally your option. You do whatever works best for you. Foam tape works best for me. just realized that I think I forgot my foam strips. I'll have to look. Okay, make sure we're straight and plunk that on. Yep, one sec here. Can't be without foam strips. Okay. Now we are ready to add the die cuts, and as I mentioned, I kept these cards really easy. So we're going to go to the die cut sheet that says "A Friend Like You." This is what they look like, and we're going to pull out this big one up top. You don't need to have scissors for these. They really do fall out really easy. And I'm also going to pull out the Just For You. Take both of those out while I'm here. And then I'm going to separate these. So take these out. Yep, Barely Art glue works great on foil. Mine is no problem. Absolutely. Now I'm not going to use the inner frame. So I have shown in previous Hunkydory classes what you can do with these. I am not going to use this one, so you can put that off to the side. I just need the frame and the image. This is just going to fit top to bottom. As you can see, if I hold it here, it is just going to fit. Now, we don't want any foam tape here where it attaches. We want foam tape down here and maybe a little bit at the top. But if we put foam tape where we added this extra piece of paper, it's going to be like a speed bump. So I'm going to flip this over. This will be my guide. I'm going to take my foam strips, and I like to do 2 at a time. That's for these frames, they're a little bit, well, I like to do 2 at a time unless I muck it up. It's a little bit wider of a frame, so I'm going to give it a little bit more stability on there. Is it, Anne-Marie? It seems to be okay on my end. I'm watching it on another device and it's okay. So it could be your internet. That happens. I know my internet at home has been a bit of a problem lately. I thought we fixed it, but not happy. So perhaps just go out, make sure nobody else is using it. Come back in. Heck, it could even be Facebook. All those things affect us. Okay. And then I'm just going to put a little bit more on the top. That should more than do me. Doesn't look pretty, but it doesn't have to. Okay, I'm sticking. So you can see here that I have avoided foam tape in those center pieces. You know, I put a whole bunch of pins in my area and they're all disappeared. I have no foam tape here or here. None at all. That way it just will sit nice and flat. So let me center it. That works perfect, I think. Before I push it down, I'm going to double check. I think, oops, so you see here where that foam tape is bumping? That's because I've got too much and it's in the way. So I'm just going to peel it back, rip it off. It doesn't have to look pretty. Just has to do its job. There we go. Okay, now I'm going to do the same for this. I'm going to plunk this back in, but I'm going to add foam tape to this. So I'm going to make sure that I have single foam tape on the top. That is where it's going to hit that extra piece of paper. And on the bottom, I need it to be double foam tape. So 2 times high on the bottom half. That is just us doing our math. So I've got single on the very top, double, and double. Single, double, double. And again, that should be perfect. I didn't take my backing off. I can tell it's not sticking. Silly Billy. There we go. Okay. Now we'll add one of the dots of greetings. There's a few different greetings. Now sometimes in my classes, people don't want to add a greeting yet because they don't know what they're going to put in there. You can totally do that. You don't have to. These are beautiful with that gold foil that if you wanted, you could add one of the pink fresh greetings on here too, and they would look fabulous. So I'm going to put that dot there, and I am just going to put this up in the corner like so. Maybe I'll drop it down just a little bit. I'll just drop it down there. Perfect. Now the last thing that we're going to do is we're going to take some of our gems and I'm going to find 3 that are the same size. You can use whichever color you want. I don't know which color. I think I used pink. You can use whichever color you like. And we are going to put 3 on each side. Now I did all 3 that are the same size. You can see that there's a couple of different dots in, or a couple of different sizes on our hearts. But you can do whichever you want. You could do different sizes. I like to just put 3 little dots on there. That's how I do it. That's not to say it's the right way by any means. It is just a way. And then I'm just going to put them there and make sure that they're nice and center. Let's see. Nope. Come on. And I'm going to do the same across the way. And then I'm just going to move this off to the side so that those hearts glue in place. Now they are, well, that's not really in the center, but they do dry fairly quick. But I don't want to accidentally bump it and have my hearts kind of go sideways on me. So I'm just going to set it off to the side after. And that's it. These hearts are just great. Oops, come on, flip over. They're just great for adding a little embellishment. And these colors work fantastic. Okay, let's have a look. Card number 1 is done. I probably could come over just a smidge with this. Oh, look at that. My glue's already drying. Okay. Yes, so what we do, Evelyn, is tomorrow we will launch a new Crafty Hour. So that is, we always launch a new Crafty Hour after one is done. We do 2 a month. We try and do them every other week. And so tomorrow at 9 a.m. will be the launch of the next one. Now, kits are very limited. This is what number, gosh, is it number 16? So we have done this 16 times. Tomorrow, oh, I'll leave these out. Tomorrow, we're going to launch number 17. So you get the kit, and then you get a free class, or you could do your own thing. Courtney will be on her scrapbook page, Scrapbook of Memories, at 5 p.m. with her cards. It is kind of like, Courtney likes to say, it's like the cooking show. We get the same ingredients. We design some cards. Okay, card number 1. No, this one is sold out. You want to be on our live tomorrow at 9 a.m. to get the next one. They go fast. And tomorrow's is fantastic. Okay, we're going to do a next one. This is a nice, easy one. So let's see. How long did that take me? Ooh, I got to speed up. And you can go back and watch these videos as often as you want. Card number 2, we are actually going to use this as our card base. So you can see we don't need a card. So when I said that this is going to be our leftover, that is what I want you to find. This piece we just cut. And this measures 8 1/4. So half of 8 1/4 is 4 1/8. Now, folks, I'm also going to mention, that you guys need to be part of our Crafty Hour creations. This is a project that we do just for Clipper Street and Scrapbook and Memories. It's not for other stores. It's just Clipper Street and Scrapbook and Memories. We offer a free craft along. Free. So by your support of purchasing kits, we can continue to do this. We also have a private group that is called Crafty Hour Creations, where you share your projects, and you got to join that and answer a couple of questions. Now, we are scoring this. I like to use my score tool. We are scoring this. We are not cutting it. If you don't have a score tool, just go ahead and fold it in half. So, like so. And then this paper is fairly thick, so you need to give it a good, good score. That will help it stay on top. And that is the card base. Your card is ready. How fantastic is that? And I am going to bring out the same die cut sheet. Okay. And we're going to do a couple of things. We're going to pull out this one up here that says Live Life in Full Bloom. I'm going to remove that one. And I'm going to remove just the image. Actually, no, we'll take the whole thing. The image and the frame. We're going to separate those. I'm going to show you a little trick. And we're going to remove the You're the Best greeting. And that's it for that sheet. Those are your leftovers. Yep, they're on our class page, Evelyn. Give us a call after class and we can sort you all out. But right now I'm going to just keep teaching here. But we can sort you out after class. Give us a call or email us. Okay, so we have pulled everything out. I'm just separating these. Go ahead and separate. And here's what we're going to do. We're not going to use this, but we are going to use this. Okay, so we pulled out our die cuts. This is the one that was in the middle there. And here's what I'm going to do. I'm not going to be using this frame, but I am going to use the straight edges. So I'm going to cut it. Let me show you what I mean by that. I'm going to cut off the top just right at the corner like so. And I'm going to repeat it for the other side. Now, these are not garbage. You certainly could use these in places. They can go as just a little embellishment on your card. We're not going to do that today, but you can definitely keep these. But these are what I want, which are the side pieces. They are a straight edge. Okay, so I just cut off my... I'm going to show you that one more time, just in case. Okay, so this is what the frame looked like, right? And I just cut the straight edges. You can do scissors. That's totally fine. If you have a look at this little border piece now, you're going to see that one has a white line. Ooh, they're not wanting to pick up. Have a look at yours. You'll see the one has the white line. It doesn't matter if that's on top or bottom. It does matter that it remains the same for both pieces. So I'm going to have mine on top. I'm going to put it about maybe not quite half an inch down. I'm going to glue that. And then I'm going to repeat it to this side. and do the same thing. Now I'm going to have a gap in the middle. That's okay. That doesn't matter. This is just a different way to use the frames that I wanted to share with you. Now we're going to eyeball as best we can to make sure that we're even. Okay, perfect. So that's what it should look like. You're going to have a gap in the middle. Don't worry about the gap. Not going to matter. Okay, we're going to take the big one. We're going to put some foam tape on it. Of course. Silly question. I'm going to put a little bit on both sides because it's fairly big, right? So that's what I'm going to do. And we're going to put this right over, I think about there. Let me make sure I'm straight. Okay, so it's about 1/4 of an inch in. I do cover up that blue butterfly. Don't sweat it. I come to the top of the card, and now you can see I have covered up that gap. Right? Exactly, Susan. Exactly. You don't want going down that gap. So we've covered it. Nobody knows now except all of us. Now I'm going to take this one and it is going to overlap the first. So what I need to do is put double foam tape only on the right hand side. I can put one foam tape high on the left if I choose. Okay, so this is Live Life in Full Bloom. Flip it. I'm going to put one piece on that side. And I'm going to double it up. And I'm going to put both of those right there. Okay, so double, double, single. Double, double, single. And this one I'm going to drop way down and I'm going to overlap slightly. That works. Am I crooked? I might be crooked. See, I never press down fully until I'm sure. It's hard to do it under the camera. Okay, there we go. Now the last thing is we're going to add a greeting. We have many options of where we can put the greeting. We could put it here. We could put it here. I'm going to put it down in the bottom. It kind of works for me, but it might not work for you. Where did I put my pop dots? So I'm going to put this one right down here. I like to put it right on there so I can kind of play around, have it hanging off just a little, like so. Now the last thing I'm going to do is I'm going to add 3 purple hearts this time. Let's see, doesn't matter what size, as long as they are the same purple hearts. And I'm going to put these up in the top right corner, side by side. So I'm just going to take this, I'm going to put a dot, and a dot. Doesn't matter which size you go with, as long as they are the same size, or you can do it different. It's your card. I am choosing big ones this time, but on that card I chose the smaller ones. We did not count out your hearts. We just gave you like a teaspoon of each, I think it was. We had hearts all over the place. These hearts come in different colors. They come in white, red, yellow, pink, purple, black. So if you are looking for more of these hearts, just reach out to your home store. We can certainly help you out. There we go. Card number 2 done. Whew, we made up some time there. Card number 2 is done. All right, we're going to jump right into card number 3. Card number 3. maybe we will do the quick and easy one, and that'll give us a little bit more time for that last one at the end. This is going to be card number 3. So we are going to use your 6x6 card that I asked you to find. 6x6. And we are going to trim that card. So this is something I like to do a lot, is have a card that is not a full front. So what we do is open this card up, open it wide. I call it a gem picker. There's a lot of different types available now. We have this one. The rainbow one is completely sold out. But this is mine from home, and I love it. Okay, so we are going to take the score line, and we're going to line that score line up at 4 inches. 4. So I am cutting off 2 inches of my card. Notice my card is wide open. I don't need this piece. My score line is at the number 4. So now when I close my card, you can see that I'm missing a 2-inch piece, which is perfect. It's what I want. Missing a 2-inch piece. Okay. So now we need our big trimmer for this one. And I want you to find this paper in your pile. This has the hydrangea in the bottom right corner. And this is the next one that we are going to use. Now, I like to make these cards in my classes when something is down in this corner, because when you open it, it acts as a bit of a surprise. It's like, boom. Okay, so we're going to put this into our trimmer, and we're going to take the bottom to 6 inches. Okay, so we're just going to be cutting off the top. Okay, bottom is at 6. Our paper is in our trimmer, nice and wide. I'm going to get these hearts out of the way before I spill them, because it's a possibility. Move that there. So 6 inches. Let me grab a piece of paper and I'll write that down. I keep losing my pens in this place today. Oh, maybe, oh, there it is. 6 inches. Okay, go ahead and trim it all the way. We're not going to be using this piece. And I have a piece that looks like this that's 6 inches tall. Okay, now I'm going to cut 2 pieces. One is going to be 6 inches again. And the second one is going to be 4 inches. So the 6-inch piece has to be done first, because that is going to include our image. So 6 inches. And then I'm going to slide this over to the number 4. Extra. So one piece is 6 by 6, and one piece is 4 inches wide by 6 inches tall. Now, we may need to trim this slightly, because what happens is when we put it into our card and we put it right up to the score line and then you fold, sometimes it shifts just a little bit. So if you do that, flip it over and you'll see that shift. That happens. It's not a big deal. We're just going to go in there and cut a little bit off, just a little, whatever that amount was that shifted. And that's just because we're butting it up to the score line. And now look at that. It's perfect. That doesn't happen on the front, but if you hold it up and you go, ooh, I just need to shift some, that's okay. So we're going to glue these papers down. We don't have any photo mats on this one. So just glue in place. Big one goes inside. That's going to be our nice little surprise inside. I'm going to line up the edges there. I don't line it up now to the score line. Now that I know I'm good, I'm lining it up to the edge. And then I'll just make sure that my card has a great fold. Perfect. And now I'm going to do the front. Okay. Let's make sure my paper's right way up. I don't know if there is a right way. I think so. Okay. So all we've done is covered it. There is no mats on this one, just a nice and plain. We haven't done any corner punching, nothing like that. Now for this one, I want you to find the sheet that is called Thinking of You. Thinking of You. We haven't cut any of these out or punched any of these out. We are going to do that now. Thinking of You. So find that one, and then I will tell you exactly which ones to pull apart. Just give you a moment there. You're going to have leftovers after you do Courtney's. Courtney's, once again, just a reminder, 5 p.m. Pacific time over on her page. Once you do Courtney's tonight, you're going to have extras. So we encourage you to hop on over to Crafty Hour Creations. That is a private Facebook group. And if you join that group and then share your extras in there, that's what we want to see, is your extras there. Plus what you created today with us. Okay, we're going to remove 4 things from here. 4 of them. Starting at the top, I want you to remove Thinking of You. Right underneath it, I want you to remove this little rectangle here with the blue butterflies. Okay. Off to the side, I want you to remove just the image. Just the image. Leave everything else. We're not going to use the frames. I want you to remove just the image. And then the last one is this one down here in the very bottom right. We're going to remove that. These ones we're going to use for our last card together. Hopefully we'll have the time to do it. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay, going to start with my tall, skinny one. We're going to glue this flat. Tall, skinny. Glue this flat up in the top left corner. Just like that. Okay. Now we're going to go to our big one. And I'm just going to lay this out because here's what we're going to do. It's going to overlap the first one. We're going to drop down and it's just going to overlap right here on the right hand side. So it's going to go past that piece I've cut off, which means I don't want foam tape right to the edge. Okay. It's going to be even-ish top to bottom. So flip it on over. Put some foam tape on it. I'm not going to take it right to the edge. I'll just put that one there for the heck of it. Okay, I'm not right to the edge. Even top to bottom, I'm going to cover this blue butterfly over here. It's okay. Slightly overlap. Make sure when you open it, ooh, I was close, we don't see any foam tape. Okay. Then we're going to take this one and we're going to do the same thing. I am going to cover up that blue butterfly and I'm going to put it in the center like that. So see how much is, oops, I'm off the camera. See how much is hanging over? Probably about 3/4 of an inch on the right hand side. So therefore no foam tape here. This is just single foam tape. So I'm going to put one on the left and I think one in the middle. Oops. Let me show you here. I just got to trim this back a little. I put too much there. Whoops, where'd that go? Oop. Okay. That'll work. And we're going to cover up that blue butterfly. Again, center top to bottom. Like that. Open it up. It's perfect. Now, of course, the butterflies that we all used in our last crafty hour a couple of weeks ago work perfectly with this. I know Courtney's going to bring one in later this afternoon, but you can grab out your butterflies and add butterflies. And now we're going to do Thinking of You. And yeah, I will order. Just leave. Oh, sorry guys. One sec. You have one, I hope? No? I won't be able to print all day then. Okay, so now what we're going to do is take this, and I'm going to put this foam tape in the top left corner. My printer's not like yours. It stops. They're way more. I'll do it tomorrow. Okay, so just like that. Sorry, we're out of printer ink, and so we're trying to solve our problem. Now, when it comes time to lining it up, here's what I want you to line it up to. The closing of the card on the right side. So the very far right, we're going to drop it down from the butterfly, underneath the butterfly, and right to the edge. And what this does is that can be my place where I grab my card to open it. How did everybody's work out? Easy, right? Now, I'm not going to do the last thing because I'd rather jump into our last card. But now that you know what we're doing, I put 3 purple up in the top. Now, you can mix and match your pink and your purple. I put 3 hearts here and 3 hearts here. So I have 3 hearts in each of those corners. And that's all that's left to do with this card. So I'm going to set it aside because I do want to do the last card together. And I just want to, while you guys are finishing up this one, I want to explain what inserts are, because this kit comes with inserts. Inserts are a faded paper. Okay, it matches. Let me bring in card number 1. It matches your paper. So there's this one. Oh, I put one in. And what you do after is you can cut them and put them into the inside of your cards, and they dress up your cards. They make them look really, really pretty. I like doing that because look how gorgeous that is. But you can also use these as pattern papers and make cards out of them. I have done that in my classes as well. So I can take this one, and then I can take my leftover and put it inside. If you're going to do this and have one on the top and bottom, I suggest personally to cut. What they do is they kind of fold it in half and glue on the top and bottom. But I like a really clean center. I like this to be clean, so I prefer to cut mine like so. That's just my choice. Okay, you don't have to do it. But that's what these inserts are for. Okay, we're going to do one last card. Let's slide these over. And that is going to be our easel card, and we are doing it as an A2 size easel. So that is why you needed the easel card. I have 15 minutes, so I am going to go at a fairly good speed for this one. It's totally doable in 15 minutes. But most of all, I want to make sure that you get the instructions on how to do it. So we have our card. This is our A2 size card. This is actually one from our Spellbinders. And then I had you do 3 papers. I had you do the 4 1/8 by 5 3/8, and I had you do 2 of them that were 2 inches wide by 5 3/8. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is find my scoring. We are going to create another fold in our A2. So this is what your A2 card looks like. We need to create this fold right there so that we can score it. And that score is going to be at 2 1/8. So let me tear that. That is the halfway mark because our card is 4 1/2. So half of that is 2 1/8. So we're going to take one side and one side only to 2 1/8 and gently score. 2 1/8 is right in between. It's that line right in between 2 and 2 1/4. Bigger than 2, smaller than 2 1/4. We only create one score line. The other side, of course, not, because that's the back. Now, if we fold this under, grab your bone folder. That will create your easel card. It is not perfect yet, but that is how we create an easel card. Thank you, Sharon. I appreciate that. Hopefully you'll join one of our real classes one day. This is exactly how we teach, although way slower. Okay, so you can see here that you're going to take your 2 pieces of gold that I had you pre-cut, and you're going to glue those onto what I call the front flaps. You do not want to cover that score line, because if you do, it won't work, right? So let's give her some glue. As I mentioned while I'm gluing, I'll chit-chat. We do have our next Hunkydory full class. We'll be making 10 cards in that class. That one is called Wildlife Blossoms, and it is in a private Facebook group as it is a class. Clipper Street is completely sold out, but if you are in the U.S., Courtney said this morning she has a couple of spots left. So feel free to join that. We'd love to have you. You're going to be getting a large kit, and we're going to make 10 cards together. Okay. I'm going to speed this up just a bit. I think it's a really fun class. And then this piece is going to go inside our card. Inside, because when it shuts like so, we're going to see the inside of our card. So this gets glued to the side without the score line. No score line. That is technically the bottom of our inside card. Now, we're going to start cutting paper, and like I mentioned, I do want to finish and just have this as a crafty hour. So I am going to start cutting paper. You can always go back and do this at any time you want, okay? Don't even stress. This is not going to go away. Not going to go away. Okay. So this is the paper that I am going to be using. It has the beautiful butterflies along the edge. And this is a very, very special way to cut this. And I will explain it once I do it as to why I did it that way. So I want you to flip your paper upside down. And we're going to take that brown edge to 4 3/4. Now you'll notice my butterflies are flying upside down. They're flying towards me, so that's okay. 4 3/4. Okay, 4 3/4. Now I know that's a little big, and that's okay. So this is what we have. 4 3/4. Now I'm going to turn this the right way. Okay, butterflies are okay. And I'm going to trim it to 4 inches. Now, the reason I did this is I want less of a brown border. Okay, so I'm just removing this so I have less of a border inside my card. See how that worked? Okay. Now, because I'm going to have this on the bottom of my card, I want to remove this butterfly here because he kind of looks like he's doing a death dive. I don't like butterflies flying down. It's just a pet peeve of mine. So I'm going to get rid of that one little butterfly. Just going to cut him off. You'll see it'll be fine in a minute. So I just got rid of that one butterfly. Here you go, bye-bye. You can fussy cut him out. And then we're going to take it and we are going to trim the length of this to 5 1/4. 5 1/4. And that will get rid of this other butterfly that's kind of doing a dive. So this is what I have. And that is going to glue inside my card with the flowers on the bottom. Card opens with the fold at the top. Gonna glue that on and keep moving. Want to make sure I get this one done for you. Okay, now with this leftover piece, I'm going to cut 2 pieces. Get a new piece to write on. I'm going to cut 2. Both these pieces are going to measure 1 7/8 by 5 1/4. I need 2 of them. 1 7/8 is slightly smaller than 2. So let me just show you. That is the 1 7/8. It is bigger than 1 3/4. It is smaller than 2. Going to do both of those. That's my leftovers, and then I'm going to do them to 5 1/4 and 5 1/4. These glue to my fronts, just like so. A little bit of gold all the way around. Okay, I'm going to quickly glue those. Let's see, we got about 8 minutes. We should be fine. And for those that have never taken a class with me, don't worry, this is not the way we teach. This is just the way we do crafty hours. I think I'm a little crooked on that bottom one. In classes, we leave nobody behind, so you don't have to worry. Okay. We're a lot slower. Now I'm going to go to this die cut sheet that I have, and I'm going to remove all my die cuts. I need birthday wishes. I need this big square down here in the bottom corner. And the last thing I need is the border. Now the border is going to require some cutting on the ends. Where's, not my best scissors at all, but let's just snip it. So they are attached on the ends. They just require some snipping. I forgot my good scissors. We'll just rip it, and then I'll just trim it. Okay, so that is our border piece. And I'm going to cut this to that 5 1/4. 5 1/4. That's how long my card is. I can save this. And I wonder where my vellum went. I'm going to glue this down, making sure my butterflies are going the right way, the center of the bottom flap. Just like that. Center of the bottom flap. Okay, there's my vellum. I'm going to take my square and I'm going to remove them, but this time I'm going to use all of my frames. So I have my pretty outside frame. I have my pretty inside frame. Oops, which I just threw. Good gracious. And then I have my greeting inside. We're going to take this one and I am going to attach the vellum to the back. Now these frames make fantastic shaker cards. Super, super easy. And as I mentioned, your hearts can be shakers. We are not going to do that this morning, but you can. And this is what I was saying. Now, if you didn't have vellum, don't worry. You can do this without vellum. You'll do it exactly the same way, so don't worry. I do these kind of cards often without vellum, so you don't have to have vellum on it if you don't want to. Okay. This is what it looks like with vellum. Oh, of course you have a shaker. Courtney's saying she's doing a shaker. Now we're going to attach this center side to side and only on the bottom panel. Now, regardless of whether you're using vellum or not, we're going to put foam tape just on the bottom half of the frame only. So let me get a foam strip here. And just on the bottom, so I'm going to take that. And I don't want to go up too high because I don't want to see my foam tape. Oops, and I don't want to peek through there. And then a little bit more foam strip. I will double check before I attach that it's okay. On there. Okay, so I've just done it kind of on the bottom half. And if I hold this up backwards, I can see that I'm okay. I'm not going to go past that. So then I'll flip it over and attach it even side to side. And I am going to come up from the bottom just a little bit. My top will come to the top of my card. When it's closed, it fits inside. And I am not center at all. See if I can fix that. I should be. So I close my card, take the top of the frame up to the top, just like so. Now, because I know that I'm going to be covering that center, I'm going to actually add a little piece of foam tape. I'm going to sneaky it. If you didn't do vellum, you do not need to do this step. If you didn't do vellum, don't worry. But I'm going to just put that little piece inside there because I know it's going to be hidden. Okay. I'm going to take this inner frame, which is purple, and I'm going to glue it on a diagonal like so. I'm only going to put glue really on those straight edges because I don't need them on my points. So I'm going to put a little glue there, oop, little glue there, little glue there, little glue there. I don't need it on the points, so I'm not going to worry. Flip it over and center it. Now, if you did not do vellum, this won't stick to anything, so you probably don't want glue there. You probably just want a little bit of glue here if you don't have vellum. Because I have vellum, it is sticking to the vellum. Down on the bottom, it will be okay. You can always add a little foam tape back there. And then I'm going to take, I don't remember if I did double. No, I didn't. I'm going to take some foam tape. And I'm going to put some pieces of foam tape on the back of my image. Just single foam tape. And I'm going to place that right in the center, just like so. Okay, now that is essentially your easel card done, but as you can see, it doesn't do very well because it needs a stopper. This is what I call the inside is a stopper. Now, this stopper needs to be double foam taped. So we're going to take this piece here and we're going to put double foam tape on the back. When you do single foam tape, I find it just slips right by. So I don't recommend single on your stoppers. And you can decide how high you want your card. Do you want your card to stand really straight? Do you want it to have a little bit of a slant? You can decide which angle. I want mine to go kind of right in the middle of the flowers. So I'm going to put it kind of right like that. And then that is where my card is going to stop. Now, I didn't put any hearts on this card, but of course you can. Ooh, look at that. We did good. I rushed you through that last one. But you can put hearts on here. I just decided not to for this one, so that you have lots that you can do with that. So we have completed 4 cards. Let me bring them all in. 4 of our Hunkydory cards are done in an hour. These creative pads are fantastic. They've got lots more coming out. Courtney and I just ordered a few more from them. So you can definitely take them and again, make it your own. There's lots of them. Tomorrow, 9 a.m., we are going to launch our next Crafty Hour. I will show you this much. That's all you're getting, okay? It is a big Crafty Hour. We're going to be launching it at 9 a.m. It will be on our website at 9. Now, this kit, we bought everything that they had. And we bought this, oh gosh, Courtney, help me out. I think we bought this in January. So we can't get any more. So this is your heads up that you're going to want to be on our websites, both of us, either Scrapbook and Memories or Clipper Street at 9 a.m. tomorrow morning to go live with this class because we can't get any more. We bought all the paper that they had left, all of it. All of it is gone. So when we sell out, we won't get any more. So all those people that were asking, how do you partake in a Crafty Hour? That's what we do. You will go live. You can go onto our website and get it right away. Now, going forward, I think Courtney and I are getting a little bit better at trying to order more because we know that it has grown. But of course, January was 4 months ago, and we weren't sure. So 9 a.m. it will go live on our website. You can go and join. I'm going to do a video at 9 and show you what is involved. But I know a lot of you don't care. You just want to come and do Crafty Hour, which is fun. And that is going to be for both the stores. So you do want to make sure you get on to whichever website right away. Now, Courtney's going to be on at 5 p.m. Pacific time. She's going to do hers with the other cards. She's got some fabulous cards. I will make sure to share on Clipper Street the link as well as the homework. But if you are in Crafty Hour Creations, that is our private Facebook group. She has already posted it there. So that is the best place to be if you are joining any of our Crafty Hours. Make sure you are in Crafty Hour Creations. There are a few questions to answer because we do vet people to make sure we don't get all those spammers in our private group. So that's it. I'm going to sign off. Thank you for joining me this morning, and make sure to tune in at 5 p.m. Pacific time on Scrapbook and Memories Facebook page. Bye-bye.